Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing great. Let us know you're here. Insiders, everyone, sport, martial artists, people that just, want to listen to us, So
we are back, baby. Inside Scoop is back. How was your 4th of July weekend, my friend?
We haven't left, Alex.
We don't ever leave.
No, look at that. Episode 99. You know what that means. Next week.
Can't stop, won't stop.
100. So we have a big announcement at the end of the show. So y'all better
I can't even believe it. I really can't. When you told me about it, I'm like, shut the heck. But yeah, it's legit.
It's gonna be fun. Guys, we are sponsored by Virtual Fight Tour. Man, they have been so good to us, and they've been so good to sport karate and sport martial arts over this time.
That's the way to put it. They've been good to all of us.
Everybody, man. And it's been every month or every 2 months, we've gotten a killer show that has a little bit of everything. Sport karate, point fighting in a cage, which is, some people are like, oh, that's not going to work. It is.
So
it's
cool.
Awesome. It's so cool. We're getting some great demos with the forums as well. Looking forward to the next show. We just got an announcement that there's going to be a little delay on the draft. So that's going to be a little bit later in the summer. We also have the forums one coming up soon. So lots of planning and things, and normal things that we kind of have talked about that would happen once tournaments start kind of get going, right? It's trying not to clash with dates and things. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff with that. So I'm excited to see this continue. I know it is. And Jesse Ray and his team has done a great job. So I'm just hyped up for the next one.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm excited about it. So the draft is always a fun thing. We do just like random impromptu drafts all the time.
Yeah.
Dude, I think I'm already in like 3 fantasy football leagues that are already in right now. That's how much I'm into drafts because I'm doing those. But by the way, insiders, we're going to
do an inside scoop one.
We're going to do an inside scoop one. So
if you want to be involved, yeah.
The first 8 people to message Jeff or I about being in, you guys are in.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll do that. We don't know when we're going to do the draft, but if you want to be in, you're in. We'll figure that out.
Yeah,
Details
so
of that later.
We'll have the other one, and then I think we're going to do a main game one as well.
We got 10 people. But but I don't want to make people want to do it. Like if you're not in to doing it,
don't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. We could do. I got enough of them, right? So I'm good. It's not. Awesome. I'll tell you what. I'm in more fantasy basketball leagues.
Really?
You can't. I love it.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. But enough of the fantasy stuff. We're going to talk about reality.
That's
what
right.
Did you really do this weekend? How was your 4th of July weekend?
4th of July weekend was fun. Man, I did a little bit of everything. Just some work, some fun, seeing family. Like my uncle came in, one of my best friends and her family came in. Fireworks, date night. I mean, pretty much everything over the weekend. It was insane. So, yeah, finally got one of those. It was, again, it was Shelly's birthday
on the 1st.
So was able to try to get all that.
Happy birthday again, Shelly.
It was an interesting weekend. Just a lot of stuff. And then going right into preparation for this week, and then watching the U.S. Open, man.
Yeah, that's a good one.
How about you, man?
It was a whirlwind of a weekend for me as well, but it was like I'll get into that part later. So I told everybody that we were going to find out, Lindsay and I were going to find out.
Oh, that's right.
If baby number 3 is going to be a boy or a girl. We're going to do that. So Lindsay is a very, very big family. So there's nothing that's done small. This is the only smallish event that's ever happened in the history of me being around her family. Lindsay's one of 7 kids. Okay. So you got 7 kids,
right?
Plus spouses, and then their kids. Like at her parents' house, everything's at her parents' house. It's like 1,100 square feet. It's not big. It's tiny. Right. So then you pack all of them in there, and people they just stand and eat. That's just what they do, because what else are you going to do? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but it just so happened that nobody was really able to make it except for like one of her sisters and then her family. So we did like a firework reveal. So what I did is none that
Oh,
went.
okay.
It wasn't anything that went like boom in the air. It was like a fountain, and it was going to go off either blue or pink. So I had to buy a bunch of them. So Lindsay said, I don't want just one little one. Let's do like 3 of them at once. So that means I had to buy 6 because I didn't know. Right. So I could get them. And I got to tell you, I am sick of the fireworks. I am.
Yeah. I remember you telling me that. Yeah. You're like,
I'm so done. Dude, they've been doing this since the first couple days in June. And I'm not even talking like, a couple like bottle rockets. Boom. I'm talking like all out.
Mortar
Like,
shells. Yeah.
we're talking dynamite, like on my fence type of thing. Like this is insane, right? Like what are we talking about here? Anyway, so I'm glad that part's. It seems like it's done, but you never know, right?
Anyway.
I was like this close to yelling at my neighbor. Found out it wasn't even him. It was like the street over.
Wow.
Like, you got to be kidding me. So anyway, so it was a big deal. We're having a boy, right?
Awesome, man. Congrats.
Yeah, we're gonna have another boy, and my daughter did not respond well immediately.
Right.
She was like, "You've got to be kidding me! Just way too many boys here now, Mom."
Yeah.
Like, all right, that's great.
Yeah, that's good.
But it's been so that's really good. So we got Louisa, we got Zachary. Thanks, Jim. And then we don't even know what the name we're gonna name.
Hey, you got time.
Boy number 2, baby number 3 is. So I'll take suggestions if you got them. But yeah, so we did that, and then obviously we were looking at U.S. Open. Thanks again, Drew. And I didn't miss it.
Yeah, well, like not being there.
I did, and that's the weird part. I missed being at the battle. When I saw that, I'm like, man, I wish I was there.
No, I get that.
I did not miss the U.S. Open. I looked at the U.S. Open, and like when I looked at the highlights of the stuff, I was like, ooh, man, I wish I was there. But then it was over, and then I'm like, wait a minute, name it. Drew's like, name him Prince. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love it. All right, thanks, guys. Oh, I almost knocked my computer over. That was so funny. That's a good one. How did I not think of that? But anyway, no.
Maybe
what I found out, what did we hear? What did we hear that they started? They started like the 30+ fighters at like 8 o'clock or something. Something nuts.
Yeah.
8 o'clock. It was like it wasn't even. It was like 7:45 in the morning.
Right.
What the hell's wrong with you? Right?
Yeah.
So they started doing that, and it's like, no, I don't miss this. Right? And I always felt bad. Like when we would go, and everybody knows this. You go to the U.S. Open because it's the U.S. Open, right? You don't go there.
It's in an area where there's a lot of international people. There's people from all over. People that like you don't see at other events come there just because of that. Obviously, there wasn't the European and as much international, but there was still a good amount of people from Mexico, Guatemala, Venezuela, that area were able to come.
So I've always really liked that about the U.S. Open. And it's like, all right, this feels good. Not like I'm getting a chance to compete against like all this top international competition, but I just feel like it just legitimizes the sport a little bit more, that people outside of listen, it's a national sport, but really it's regional, because there are many regions within the continental U.S. that don't know what the heck open sport martial arts competition is.
Correct.
So, but at
the U.S. Open, it's that name. So anytime you say, no matter what sport you're in, this is the U.S. Open. I think it could be the U.S. Open of badminton. Be like, all right, that sounds legit. It could be the U.S. Open of freaking thumb wrestling. It doesn't matter. But which
correct.
Fun.
So I've always enjoyed that, because it gave just a little bit of like, okay, I feel like we are a part of something bigger.
Yeah.
But then when you partake in it, you're like, oh no, we feel like second-class citizens. Not even that. We feel like the dog that the second-class citizen is bringing around on a choke chain.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck is this? right?
Yeah, I have mixed feelings always through my U.S. Open experience.
And I'm going to try to be. I told Jet this. I am feeling like I'm going to be a lot more positive
Yeah.
this week than I am in weeks past, and I'm not starting out great.
No, you're not. That's why. But usually when you say that, it usually turns the other way. But it's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, for me, I just like being there and seeing people I don't always see, you know, and that's something that's no matter what. When you go to the U.S. Open, it's just people just come out, you know. People that don't go anywhere else will go there. They may not even do any NASCAR tournaments all year long, and they'll stay in Texas or whatever, but they'll go to the U.S. Open. So it's really cool, you know, as far as that part. You know, I mean, still, yeah.
So what is Drew
What do you
saying?
say? 1,200 to 1,300 competitors is what they said. They said that's about half what they normally have. That's great.
Yeah.
Still, 1,300 competitors. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I mean, because again, that's still more than most tournaments without a pandemic, right? Before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was great. Competition looked good. Honestly, to me, like I thought in some ways there were people that weren't at Battle of Atlanta that were there. That was surprising to me. So, and then there was a few that were at Battle that weren't there in the sparring divisions. I think most of the top people, of course, from forums were there, except barring like people from Canada. I don't think that a few from AKA that were there. Mostly for me, I'm just thinking of why am I making a blank? He's from AKA. He won most of the stuff at the battle with a sword. Why can't I think of his name? He wasn't in any of the shows, so I would be surprised if he was there, and they didn't put him in there in the finals from AKA.
Yeah.
Guy, he does the sword with the sheath. I've had him as my competitor of the
Sales. Andrew's saying his sales.
Salif. Sorry, Salif. Salif. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I knew that.
He had to not be there because if they didn't put him in the show, there's a lot going on, more than what we're going to talk about. Yeah, more than what we're talking about. But anyways, let's just get into it because I think Regina Willie talked great about the fighting and stuff. We can talk some of that as well too because there was just a lot of good stuff. I mean, I didn't watch much Saturday. I watched a lot Friday of the open weight and the teams. How about you?
I went back as
Okay.
far as the fighting. I went back and watched as much of the fighting as I could see.
Okay.
I didn't watch all of it, but I feel pretty caught up.
Yeah.
I feel equipped.
Right. I also was excited to see. I watched Abeta's fight, some of his fights. Loved watching him get back out there and fight. That was fun.
That I didn't go back. I didn't see that one.
You didn't see that yet? Oh, no, man, that was fun. Go ahead. Go ahead and get into that, and maybe we'll do our competitor weeks separate because it's kind of different things. Because once I get into the finals and the stuff, we're gonna get into a whole nother thing as we talk about that. So let's go ahead and talk about
before we get into that. I want to give a shout out really quick. Friend of the show.
What's up, Jeremy?
Look at my guy right here. I got my Daivari De Niro shirt.
Yes.
Look at Arya Daivari, former
WWE
Cruiserweight. They just let him go. Talked to him a little bit today about it. Yeah, he feels pretty good and optimistic about it. But yeah, I got my Daivari De Niro swag.
Awesome,
Isn't this a dope shirt? Is this dope?
That is cool. That is cool. I like that. I hadn't seen that yet. So
somebody needs to make a shirt like that about me. Nah, don't do that. That would not be entertaining.
The hair would fit.
Nobody would like that.
The hair would fit.
Nah, his hair is way cooler than mine. Actually, he doesn't even have hair. Doesn't he shave his head?
I think he started growing it out. That was part of his new.
Don't pay attention.
New thing. It's all right. All right. Get into that, or do you want to start with your competitor of the week?
I'll start with the competitor of the week
because it kind of kicks off what happened with it. All right. So
my competitor of the week is Ronald Zabala. Ronald Zabala is out of the Miami area. Ronald Zabala Oh, look at Mike. We're gonna get
Yeah,
into that later.
we got those coming out soon there, Mike. Don't
Mike is
worry.
asking for the shut up, Alex shirt. That might come out. Anyway, don't derail me, Mike. I'm easily.
But again,
distracted.
I've been pretty good. I haven't said that in a while, so
Yeah, you probably could have.
hopefully
Okay, so let's get back to my competitor. Ronald Zabala is he's really a fantastic talent.
yeah.
Right. I think I was most impressed with him this weekend with how he handled himself in team fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So his team won the team fighting championship again, and that he teamed up with Top 10 USA
the Latona brothers.
with the Latona brothers. Okay.
Yep.
And I felt he was a perfect addition.
It was great.
Once
man.
I was watching the fighting.
Yeah.
Looking at that before, I'm like, well, dude, Ronald's gonna have to fight big weight because those two live on the ground, you know? And whatever. It's more Jason than Enrique, I'll say that. Right?
Yeah.
So and he kind of did though. I mean, there's been plenty of small guys that come up and fight big, but he didn't even really do that. He was just a pure technician, right? As to how he fought. We've watched him in VFT. He's just been steadily getting a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. Okay.
Yeah.
So I like his makeup. I like his style is not so much in your face. Like, here I am. I'm super quick. I'm super talented. Watch out. Here it goes. What he did is what he does is he picks up. He has a game plan. It's never the same fight the way he fights each time. So he has a game plan.
Right.
Right. And he's not just a counter fighter. Right.
No.
So a lot of guys that don't go forward just sit back and just wait for you to do something. And then they've got 4 or 5 things that they're going to do.
Right.
But yet if they're down 3 points, they can't fight the same.
Yeah,
that's not Ronald.
Pretty different.
Ronald can punch you without having to go a long range. So like the people who can blitz like a super long range, like let's say like I think Chance Turner can do that from a super, super long range. You really can. The dude like dives across the ring.
Right.
You don't actually need to do that to be an effective fighter. You can do that being very, very close, just the way that you manipulate it and work it. He is very good at that, right? You don't have to be a great kicker to kick someone in the head, although it helps, right? It all depends on the way that you do that and you manipulate it. He's very, very good at that while being talented. So if you haven't watched a lot of Ronald Zabala fights, go ahead and do that.
Go check it out. Yeah.
My prediction is that within the next month and a half, if anybody's picking somebody up, I think Ronald Zabala is going to be that guy. I just really feel like it. Like, all right.
Let's just say who they beat.
Anybody's picking anybody up.
Right. Well, let's just say who they beat.
Yeah, JPM.
Yeah, they beat up. They beat who was it they fought first?
Dude, I don't even remember. Was it straight up? Did they beat straight up?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And then, or maybe Legend beat straight up. Legend beat straight up.
That's correct.
And they beat All Star.
Yes, that's the one. Now, listen, I'm also going to say I thought All Star should have won that. All right. I like the way Ronald fought. I thought All Star should have won that.
Right.
And here's what I
fixed it, Jeremy. I got it right.
Okay. Yes. Thanks. No, I think All Star should have won that because I really did not like, and I've said it before, the way the Latona brothers lay on the ground. It's not just like, oh, my boo-boo hurts. It's not that. It's really
right.
All right. Because if it is that, then get out of the sport. We don't need you.
Right.
You would be better off curling. Right. All right. Yeah. Get a South American, descent person curling. Hey, that's going to go over well. No.
Hey, we got the Summer Olympics coming up, not the winter ones. All right.
But I think it's purely for the change of pace. Right. And I don't want to say, all right, the center ref didn't do what they were supposed to. But if the center ref said, I'm saying go in 3 seconds. And if you're laying on the ground, giving them permission to kick you in the face, right? They'll get the hell up, right? Or you cue them. They don't have the right to just say, I'm just going to sit here now, right? It's not your tournament. You don't just get to sit there and do whatever you want. There's rules for a reason. So that's why I didn't like what they were doing.
I understand.
So that's why I said I thought All-Star should have won that because the way that they did that, ruined it.
Yeah.
And Tyson was killed because Tyson teamed up, right?
He was supposed to be with him, but like you said, he made it for open weight. So,
right.
Yep. So I was glad to see the Latona brothers there, especially after last week, and then going to a tournament. And you know what? Enrique did a great job.
I was impressed with Enrique.
You know what? Enrique did a great job. Made it to the finals of open weight. Made it to the finals of his grand champion. Won the team. So great job. Again, though, it was Bailey Murphy's show when it comes to the individuals. And we saw some great fights. We saw him again take it to the next level, not only on stage in the finals but during the day. But someone that needs a shout out, man, is Edgar Germany. This guy has come not out of nowhere, but he's just worked so hard. I don't have that much experience watching him, but it's a name that I won't forget.
No.
And every time I'm like, oh, he's getting here and he's getting here and he's getting here. He had one of the worst calls in history go against him at Battle of Atlanta when he fought Jamal, when it should have just been it should have been a point. It was the worst call I've ever seen in my life. Like Jamal just did a swinging maybe a ridge hand. I don't know what he was doing, but he just fell and he hit the air about 3 feet in front of Germany. And somehow
it looked like Edgar kicked him.
I don't think anything happened. I just think that it should have been a no call.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of a different exchange. You're right.
Yeah.
And then Jamal just swung and fell, and Jamal got it.
And they got a point. Yeah, it should have been that was pretty bad. But yeah, see, yeah, I said it. But yeah, Jeremy, I mean, I agree. It was one of the worst calls I've ever seen. And again, it was the corner judges calling it. So I think calling things that they couldn't see. So again,
and Jero and I, we went over that fight.
Y'all went over that fight, except that exchange, and I was like, wait, you missed the thing that probably would have made you all so mad.
Dude, we went on for like 14 and a half hours.
It was fun.
It was
I was talking as well.
You could skip one, Jeff.
Yeah. But anyways, those guys did awesome. Another big thing was, and I love how Regina and Willie called it out, even though they talked about it big time on the team fight. Team Legend versus Morgan and Alexa. A great fight. It was Hope and Cass, right? And Cass the last week at Battle Atlanta fought in juniors. So you know what? And Regina and Willie just called it out, and let's do it. Let's ask, why was she fighting adults but then didn't fight the rest of the weekend? That's an interesting thing. I feel like things like this happen only at the U.S. Open.
Only at the U.S. Open?
I feel like not only, but all right, at Battle of Atlanta, they were not letting people compete in 30+ and 40+. They weren't letting people.
Did that happen at the U.S. Open?
Yeah, my friend Edgar Cordova did 30 and 40. He was allowed to do that.
Edgar would do 18+ if they let him.
No, he should. That's the same thing. I don't have a problem with him. I think you should be able to do as many of that, right?
Right.
But then just why does it only happen here? And I feel like I don't know. I don't know if it's Digiteco. I don't know if it's their system. I don't know if it's because it's just a big venue and they can get away with it. But things like this only happen at the U.S. Open, and so it's just kind of like, well, I do what I want to do. Do I have a problem with it? No, not really. But I don't know, Edgar. Andrew, because I know he did weapons in one and weapons in the other. There's not a separate, I don't know. That whole thing to me, like I can't even explain it or defend it because I don't think it makes any sense. I just think just let everybody compete in as many as they want to do. But
you touched on something. I want you to expand on it if you can.
Yes.
You talked about Digiteco. I don't really know a lot about Digiteco. Do you?
No. Just when I've been there in the past, and it's been really tough. And they've had it for a while. At one point, it was in Florida, and I think even they had it at Pan Am's at one time. I have talked to them. Yeah, Jeremy, I agree. It's got to be the system because no way a judge would realize. So
right.
I don't know. Every time I've dealt with
So
it,
the girl fought
it's just been
adult
really
teams
slow.
and junior individuals.
Right. So again, she did adult teams. All right, Cass did, and she fought great. She did her job, and Legend beat Morgan and Alexa. Hope did an awesome job, an awesome fight against Alexa. She won 5-2, and Cass hit some good defensive side kicks, did some things to keep it where it was. I don't know what the final scores, but I feel like they won by 1. But again, it's just interesting how they had other people on their team there that were adults. Like they had Mouse, they didn't use her. She competed the next day. Ronald, great job, man. Keep it up, dude. So it's just interesting of why things like that happen. Maybe they were told, hey, she can do it. And that's
probably told, ain't nobody gonna stop you. Go ahead,
right.
give it
Just
a
go
shot.
ahead. And that's my issue with NASCA in general, because the rules are supposed to be the same overall, and it's not. It's a series of events with different rules. So it's okay, but don't make it like it's a league if it's not. So
when you mentioned, so now we're talking about going up early. A lot of people have done it locally. Everybody's done it. Did you compete early? Did you go up to adults early locally? Did you ever do that?
Locally, I did, but man, all right. So my year of 17, my 17-year-old year was probably the best junior divisions there was, right? So we were just
what I was going to touch on.
I probably should have moved up early, but it was just insane. So I was having fun doing it. My birthday is in December, so I'm not in that point where I can do one or the other. I think I did one local event before Super Grands that I moved up to adult, and it wasn't rated by any point, so it wasn't a big deal. And it was my last, would have been my first one. Other than that, no. I mean, I think
we're going to get to your guys' questions, by the way, in just a moment.
Yeah. I mean,
because they're good ones. Well, I wanted to touch on this. I wanted to touch on that because, all right, it was the culture of the people that I was with that was like, all right, if you're good enough, you just go adult early. Locally, nationally, I did not go up early. I did I went like normal. So but I'll never forget this. So locally, I went up early, and I was like 145 pounds.
Yeah.
Right. Now I'm 16, 17, and this local dude, all right, who I ended up beating like a year later, like pretty good. But at that time, I just remember him just laying into me with rear hand punches to my chest, and I felt like my shoulders caved in. Like I was like, shit, I ain't ready. But I was destroying the adult forms division, right? Like I would just grand champion after grand champion after grand champion. So then my buddy Travis Johnson, right? He was like, dude, look at you up there just taking easy grand championships. Why don't you come down here and get some real work in?
Wow.
He was not lying. He was telling the truth.
Yeah, it was harder in the juniors.
Here's some of the guys that were in the junior, because I went up like a year early, 2 maybe, and a few years earlier than some of them. So here's some of the guys, because they did junior forms grands, boys and girls together. So I would have been competing against Jenny Johnson Blanchard, Anthony Murata, Will Cornell, Mike Welch.
Yeah.
So and those are just some of the names that we know now.
Right.
Guys that were good. There was guys that were even better than them then. Right? So he wasn't lying. Right. Yeah. I probably wasn't going to win if I did the juniors, right? But in the adults, sure.
Yeah.
You guys.
Well, I mean, I get that. And sometimes I even have a hard time because I have some students that were like, yeah, but the juniors is fun. There's more people, especially when you go to like junior adult females. There's not as many competitors as there is in juniors sometimes, right?
And if somebody decided, no, I'm going to stay back for that, I guess I could hear that conversation for the female. Yeah. However, there was this girl that I trained with who just tried to go up early all the time. She would always get knocked down because everybody knew that she was trying to go up early was Ashley Dahlquist.
Right.
She wanted Morgan Plowden. She wanted two people. She wanted Morgan Plowden. She wanted Chelsea Nash. She wanted to fight them
Yep.
because she knew they were the best. She's like,
Yep.
I probably won't do this forever. I need to fight those two. I need
Correct.
it. Right?
Correct.
And I'm like, go freaking girl. Go get it. Right?
Yeah.
Not everybody has that mentality.
Right.
So, all right, I get it. But let's go back to the question.
Can we get some of these? So, all right,
let's
the
hit some of
boy Daryl Lewis, what's up, Gandhi? I mean, we're just going to get right into it. Rules don't apply to everyone at this event. My fighter got a penalty point that cost him the fight for me standing up, and the same judges let another fighter's coach go into the ring and several others when he went down. I thought you couldn't stand up at all, but a lesson learned. So he just stood up in his chair. He didn't even actually go in the ring, and then and he got a penalty, and others went in the ring. See, and we talked about you guys talked about this before as well, with the same situation, the same division, technically, just in two different rings. How one got DQ'd and the other was just, oh, you're okay. So it's just consistency is the main thing, And again, Drew was talking about they were telling a few people they couldn't do multiple divisions and others were allowed. It's crap, especially when some of those ones are the ones that follow and support your tournaments all the time and are judging for you. They're the ones getting called out because they are known. And then other ones sneak in and do it, Like I said before, at one point, you were not allowed to do Japanese or Korean in NASCA. One tournament, Anthony Atkins went and was like, Jeff, you want to do that? I'll register for you for one, and you register for the other, and you just go and compete. We actually did that. They were in separate divisions. It was just one of those crazy things.
All right, so let's hit the Jero. Let's hit Jero's question.
Yeah, let's hear
so what's your opinion on teams not using their players? Is the win more important? Well, obviously they valued the win more important. I don't understand it because the girl's not on their team, right? She's not on Legend.
Who are we talking about?
We're talking about the junior girl.
No. He's just talking about in general. The junior girl is on their team. She's part of Legend.
Okay. All right. Well, then that was
he's not an adult player yet. He's just saying, what's your opinion? Not using their players. So, he's saying, Latunas and Ronald, right? Is it as valuable? I say a win is a win, but it also depends on who you're fighting, right?
So this happened one year this happened at the U.S. Open. Okay, this is a legit thing that happened. This was 2005. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and it was this tournament where at that point there was a new rule in place because JPM lost their shit, right?
Yeah.
No, they lost their shit at that moment.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Because Jack Felton was fighting
for
straight up. Yeah. For straight up. And I don't think Ray was there that tournament. I think it was
okay.
Yeah. So it was they just lost it. So but then Hamid Fauzi had just got picked up by WKF. The tournament before he was fighting with us.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 weeks before that. So then, because we lost Hamid and BJ tore his ACL, we didn't have a fight. Greg Betlock and I didn't have a fighter. So we fought with the late BT Webb. All right. Mm-hmm. That's a whole nother story. All right. Rest in peace, BT Webb.
Yep.
All right. I'll tell that story about BT Webb another time. It's fucking hilarious. Sorry, I cursed. It's that funny. All right. Anyway, so everybody had somebody that they didn't have on. Dojo was fighting, but they didn't have all their guys, so they used Kodak from Pro Rank. So everybody was using something different.
Everybody was something different.
So JPM was throwing a fit about Jack being on there, and Joe Greenhaw, correctly so, went, look at everybody else. Why are you singling me out? You're singling me out.
Correct.
Because I picked up the next best fighter. Well, Steve Babcock says, well, is he on your team or is he not? I'm right here for the whole dialogue.
What does that matter?
It doesn't. And so that's what Joe said. He says, it's none of your business what we do. Our conversation is our conversation. It doesn't have anything to do with you.
Right.
But he says, is he on the team or not? So Larry Carnahan at that point says, okay, everybody today is grandfathered in. However, if anybody switches teams from this point on, you can't fight with another team for 2 more tournaments.
2 more tournaments, yeah. And I think that's what hurt team fighting for a while with NASCAR for a while. So,
right, because what the heck is this?
Right.
Like,
Jeremy has a good point there. I guess what he's saying is, like, if you have players at the event, but you don't use your own guys. Yeah, I always had a problem with that.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I'm not going to call teams out, but several teams have done it, and it just makes no sense to me. But again, I don't know the inner circle and what's going on. So
JPM did it that day too. They didn't fight Hakeem Walker. Hakeem Walker was on their team. They didn't fight him.
Hakeem Walker was on JPM?
No, it was on Straight Up.
Oh, Straight Up. Oh, okay. All right. You said JPM. All right. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm sorry. No, you're right. I did say JPM. Straight Up did that with Hakeem Walker.
So that's
they didn't fight him.
Yeah. All right. So again, Bailey killed it. Morgan killed it. Great job, guys. Another shot. Edgar Jeremy. Again, Enrique Latona. Just good, solid stuff. Hakeem Walker, I believe, won the 40 plus. And
you got Hakeem Walker.
Yeah, and Yoskar won 30 plus. And great job to Legend for beating Straight Up. That was something that kind of got left on the radar. They beat their actual team of Romani, Brandon, and Bailey with Oscar, Yoskar, and was it Jose Ibarra. So great job to them. All right, let's get into. I mean, we can kind of go all over the place. This could be a huge show, but we don't want to get too into it. I'm just going to go into. Let's go into the finals and how this all works and what in the world is going on. There's so many things. If you have a story of something that happened to you over this tournament, share it. And I don't think it's us bashing. I think it's us trying to help all of this better, right? Because
I think you're going to bash more than I'm going to bash.
Because again, this is supposed to be, to me, it's not the biggest tournament or the best tournament, but in most people's eyes, especially outside, this is a platform with ESPN and this year Black Belt Magazine, which is probably the biggest martial arts following that there is. Everybody watches it, right? So everyone knows the U.S. Open. So let's also look at it
like this, Jeff. Look at it like this. Before you even go into what we're going to do better, which we are going to talk about that, your students, all right, you have to talk. If they get good enough, now they're black belts, they want to start competing, and they say, we probably can only get to about 3 tournaments this year.
Correct.
Are you even including the U.S. Open in the top 3?
I don't want to.
Right. And I want to protect them. So I go, listen, if you're just starting national tournaments, the U.S. Open is not for you.
Right. And it's not because there's so much competition. That's not it. That's not it at all. No.
You need to be seasoned at bad customer service.
Right. Like we talked about. Look at the difference of what I did within the 2 years. What was it? 2013, 2014, or maybe it was 2014, 2015. I don't know. Where I got 9th place in Korean. And then the next year I won and they put me automatically in the finals. What we were talking today, it's like, I'm the last person, Korean forms competitor, to be on stage for the ISKA, which is crazy, right? There hasn't been that. So,
and I'm okay with their decision. Like I mentioned this last week, I'm okay if they just decided, guys, we're just doing a TV show.
Yeah.
It's our TV show. We want to do it. These are the people we want in the TV show. That's
fine. I think some of it, though, this year was because there wasn't so many tournaments. There wasn't a rankings already. There wasn't that. So they kind of had to fall back on who won during the day, right? There's several different things, though, of people winning multiple divisions and not being on there. There are several things of people not winning their division or not winning their grands and making it on there. So that's really hard. Is like, how do you get on there? What is the point? Like the year that I was on there, they had 3 of us and they just kept putting back. We were supposed to run our runoff at 12. And we just kept pushing it back until they said, all right, you guys are all going to go in finals. Okay, well, I could have gone to my room and slept for a little bit, instead of maybe wait 30 minutes
For
before
like
the show.
4.5 hours.
Right. So there's things like that are interesting. Let's just get into the show. Again, another applause and extra job to Jackson Rudolph on his commentating. To me,
very good.
He, as far as in the forms realm, he stood head and shoulders above everybody else.
He saved
he saved it. The new guy was named Ken, I think. He did all right. Or Kevin.
He had a nice radio voice.
Yeah, he did. I just don't understand the point of Mike Chat in this role right now anymore.
Nope.
It's just him using his name and his experience, but he's not actually using it with his voice. He's still just saying great maneuver, great move, this, that. And then he says things that I don't understand several of the things that he says as far as judges look for this. But he's like, judges look for you to pause. And all right, so there was one point I'm watching Connor Chastain's form. And Connor Chastain does, and I can't remember all of it, but he does a round off flash type maneuver, right?
Big move
to the corner. Most people would, again, I don't care about that. There's no reason to do that unless you get up super high like Gandhi or Mark Canizzato, right? And he does this, and then he goes right into another combination, which is super hard and super creative. What does Mike Chat say instead? He goes, oh, he didn't pause there, so the judges aren't going to like that. Instead of talking about how creative that was.
He dogged Connor the whole form.
And he did. He took something that people don't do, that everyone does, and he turns it around and makes it super creative, and you don't talk about that. And see, that's my issue with it. I feel like there's, Jackson would have talked about that if Jackson was competing as well.
I think he's really doing the best he can. I think Mike is. Mike is doing the best he can.
But why say things like the judges are going to? This is something, and I talked with Andrew about today. And he played back. He sent me the video while watching this. The judges are looking at the age difference of these competitors in their score. He said that on there. Now, do I think that the judges are doing that? No, they're not. Okay, but why say that?
Say that one more time.
He just said that the judges are also looking at the age difference of these competitors.
What the F is he
talking about? And we were talking
about?
This is a comparison to Mason Bumba and Joey Castro. So
what are you going to say? Like one of them just gets screwed just because?
Right. That's kind of
like
the Sport Karate Memes thing that posted that someone got an invitation for a tournament, and it said, in case of a tie, the person who is the higher rank wins. And this is a legit actual tiebreaker format.
Now, I like what Drew is saying right here. He said, Mike McCoy told me a couple of years ago that ESPN wants defending champion versus up-and-comer number 2.
And that's kind of what they did.
I like that idea.
Right.
But if you're only having 2 people, you know what I'm saying?
Well, 2 or 3. I'm okay with 3 people being on stage. But some divisions had 5, some had 4, some had 2.
And there's
That's
no rhyme
the
or reason.
Confusing part. And why is there a junior boys traditional weapons division, and then there's not that for girls, or not that for even adults, or it's confusing. So, and again, I understand it's a show. It's a show. Do whatever you want, but it's confusing. It's confusing when you're also talking about the biggest tournament, right?
If your customer, can't understand what you're doing or what this is that they're watching, right, it's no longer good to watch.
Right. And we again, the things that he said, right. So here's my thing with the, this is what I think is missing with the commentating crew as far as with forms. So Jackson, when he's talking about the weapons, he's saying the moves, he's saying the explosion, he's talking about this or that. And he's getting excited about it. And that's what we need. We need to get people that aren't used to watching this. and even there are martial artists, because you had people talking trash the whole time that are martial artists. Then they're self-defense. Well, I only do self-defense. So what is this garbage? Yeah, get out, whatever, kick rocks, right? But anyways, he's explaining the stuff. They need to understand what's going on. But then you have this other guy just kind of being plain, and then you have Mike just kind of being, plain as well. So they're just kind of canceling each other out instead of doing this. There needs to be someone to explain why possibly, because here's my problem with the score. When the scores go, right? And I'm going to give the example of the women's forums, right? When Sammy Smith does their forum, all the commentators, both the commentators are going, wow, she nailed it. She killed it. She did this or that. So they have them all hyped up, right? For me, if I don't know, I'm thinking, okay, by the commentator's take, she's going to win this. She gets last place. So why wasn't there an explanation of maybe this is why this happened? Why, because again, you're just sitting there like, okay, wait, I thought she was the best. Why did she lose, right? Gabrielle got 3 9s. Haley Glass got 3 9s. Sammy was at like 7s and 8s, right? So for me, the one thing that I saw, the only mistake that Sammy did, and it really technically wasn't a mistake. It was just that it wasn't as strong as what she could be. When she did her first, it's supposed to be like a jump side kick into a right? And it was just didn't have the pop that it normally had, right? So maybe from the view of the judges, it looked like a huge mistake. But the rest of the forum was killer. And to me, even with that, it wasn't even really a mistake. It just wasn't her best move. Like I still thought the form was better because her technique's longer. It's more creative. Haley killed it her first 2 tournaments out. She did awesome. I loved her weapons form. I just felt like her open hand form is just a little too tight. It doesn't stand out. It looks just like everyone else.
Let's say it this way.
And Sammy stands out. But she gets last. So just say if I was in there. So if I'm in there and someone should have said that pop jump side, it might have been where they took off, guys. If you're wondering why. So that's all we need, right? We need people to understand, because I'm just like, what the heck is this? And then when you talk to promoters, I know.
You need Jeff Doss. You don't even need me. You need me if you want something like crazy said, right? You need Jeff Doss, right? So that's number one. That needs to happen. You need Jeff. So, but I want to hear your take on it. Should Sammy have won?
I think so.
That's what I thought. All right, so now I'm not crazy.
Here's the deal. She did have a mistake, but it really wasn't. But again, when I look at the overall picture of the form, that's my problem. I look at the overall picture of the form. When you look at someone who shortens a little bit and some other things, and Gabrielle had a great form as well. I just feel like Sammy stands out, especially in open forms. She dropped in the weapons, whatever. I feel like in the open, that was where that stood out. Great job to everyone else. I just feel like those types of things should have been explained, right?
Okay.
For us to take it to the next level, if we want to get people in to watch this, then they can't be confused on the way out, right? And I think that's what point fighters and stuff have talked about as well. Kaylin did an awesome job. The point fighters as well, they keep talking about, hey, a point has to hit, or it has to be something, because we got people looking at this going, what is this? How did this guy win, right?
So here's a great comparison, and it sounds stupid, right? Mm-hmm. But my son is into everything: trucks, dinosaurs, tools, monsters, anything that breaks something or is destruction. Okay. Yeah. So he's like, muscle truck, daddy, orange muscle truck. So I'm like, all right, well, do you want to watch monster trucks? He's just like asking, thanks. So he was wanting to watch like a show. So I was like, do you want to watch a monster truck show? So today, this just happened today, like a few hours ago. So I said, all right, let's type in monster trucks on YouTube. Right. So we watched this monster truck show. And 5 minutes into it, now I can understand how monster truck rallies compete. Before that, I had no idea it was a competition.
Correct.
I thought it was just a show. Now
Just
I'm
a
like,
show, yeah.
all right, yeah, let's go, Gravedigger. All
Yeah.
right, son of a. And they have some interesting names. They have a monster truck that is a shark. So obviously that was my son's favorite, right?
Of course, Shark's the best.
Truck daddy.
Yeah.
Right. So now, but see, they made it simple for us to understand. Here's what he's got to do. They get the big air. When you get the big air points. Oh, okay. So the one who's the biggest there, he's going to get that.
Correct.
Right. And if you flip over, you can recover, but then you lose some points. Like, oh, okay, now that makes sense. So now I'm like, but it was so simple the way that they delivered it to us.
Yeah.
The scoring was so simple and it was clear cut. Oh, okay. There was no, but look at how much bigger he got up. Clearly, I mean, he's the winner, right?
Right.
There was none of that stuff. It was very clean, cut, and dry. I didn't even know this stuff existed a couple hours ago. Now I'm like, I feel like, yeah, I'm in. I can understand it.
Yeah, you can understand. Yeah.
Let's go, Gravedigger. Right?
Yeah, and that's what we need. That's what we need to do. I think they're trying to do that. I just feel like they need to continue to get out of your own way, right? Why not move Mike to an interview point?
That's where he's best,
right?
That's where he's best.
I know in the past Caitlin had been there before, and I feel like she did a good job.
I think Jackson was so good, but the one thing, Jackson, I'll say this: when you name the move, I don't know what that move is.
Right, correct.
So you don't need to name the move all the time, because when you're saying, "Oh, nice," you could have.
So here's the deal: this is what needs to happen once we get to this next thing. Is that where you can actually do a little thing? It said moves, big time moves to look for this form. There's things like that. But we have to get to that point where we can get a little bit more. For me, I've never skateboarded, done BMX or inlining.
Follow it when it hits the X Games, right?
I was probably the biggest fan for at least 20 years, and I didn't even just watch like some have just watched the X Games, right? No, I watched all the underground stuff, all the stuff leading up to it. Everything. I was big into it. I have a lot of friends into it. I would rent and buy the DVDs and different things that were just made. I was into it. I understood it because the way that they set it up, they would explain it to you. The commentators. What was that?
Well, Drew has a good point. Drew said they need to look at football with a play-by-play and color commentary.
Exactly.
I'm about to get there. Can we talk about the fighting? Because I really want to.
Yeah, that was the next thing. But look at the fighting. Mallory and Raymond did an amazing job. And to me, that's kind of what I'm saying that needs to be done with the forums. Have someone like Mallory that leads it into it, but also has an understanding. I feel like I've done a good job of that with the things I've commentated over this pandemic. I would love to do that, but I know there's other people as well. I'm not just trying to push myself to do it, but there's so many people that can do that have an idea, but have a professional voice. And then you lead someone in like Jackson, which is what they did the fighting. You lead someone in like Raymond to give the insight, right?
Yeah. Here's what I'll say.
One more thing, because Jackson does have a point. We talked about this the other night. He would say he would normally name it and describe it with US Open. We're told to intentionally keep it quiet at times, allow space for the competitors to form, just some context. Yeah, no, and I understand that as well.
I totally get it.
Then that's to me why I have a 3-man booth. Then but I also understand why they did or needed to, because Jackson was competing and going in and out at times as well. So,
all right. So
anyways,
the
go.
So the fighting, I am really glad to see this stage of where Ray is at.
Yep.
Because all right. I'm going to compare this to football since we just talked about football.
Yeah.
Thanks, Drew. All right. Oh yeah, you guys did crush it. Yes, that's right, Jesse. They did. All right. So do you remember? It was a few years back. Tony Romo, right, was a good starting Pro Bowl-ish caliber quarterback, right?
Right.
And then when his first year in the booth, he's literally Jedi mind tricking, like he's like calling out, like he's psychic, like he's this play is going to go here, this play is like it's called this and that, and they haven't even ran anything. He sees one tight end move, off the line, and he's like, oh, yeah, this is going to be this, that. And he called every single freaking play. That is what Raymond Daniels
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that is exactly what Raymond Daniels did. Raymond Daniels had you rooting for people you didn't want to root for.
Yeah.
He had me going, all right, Enrique, well, let's see if you can do this, right? And when he would put it, and he would go, so what Enrique needs to do right now with Bailey is he's got to flash that foot up by his head
and not
face a little bit. But if he does flash it up by the head, he's going to have to follow with his hands. He was so good.
It was so good.
It made me feel like Enrique has to be listening. Right, Enrique has to be listening to what he's saying, just doing whatever he says.
That's a funny one, Justin. Except Ray is a better competitor than Romo. True.
Well, that's absolutely. So, listen, Ray is. So I knew right away that Ray's smart, because if you're this good of a competitor, like, you can be a champion, right, and really not be able to translate that to everybody, right? That's possible, but in like the mid 2000s, I'll never forget. There's this one compete nationals. I was fighting, and for first place.
Better. Thank you.
I actually consciously do that now. So I'm fighting Elias Lemon for first place. Full confidence in this. I don't know if I've told you this before. I'm like, all right, Elias is very good, right? I've been fighting him for decades, right? I'm very aware of what Elias is going to do, right? I got this. I have my game plan. I got it. I can do it. Let's go. So Rhea just lost to Ross Levine for heavyweight.
Yeah, and he was coaching. I remember this. Yeah.
Oh, so I did tell you this. So basically, I'll sum it up. Ray told me how Ray would do it.
Yeah.
I can't
do
that on the spot.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And he had me trying something. I'm like, what are you talking about? I can't do that, Ray.
Yeah.
Stop it. Right? So then another example as to how smart he was. So someone I'm close to, Ross Cook, was, probably still is. I don't know if he's back to fighting. We'll see what he is. Is he still an all-star or not? I don't know. So Irish Open, he has to fight Roman Brundle for the gold medal of their weight class. So his coach, Dave Heffernan, out of Tala Martial Arts in Tala, Ireland. It's a very extremely smart coach, right? Trust Dave. I trust Dave, right? Dave tells him exactly what to do. At one point, Ray pulls him to the other side of the room and tells him what to do. It's the exact, to a T, the exact same game plan. And like, what the hell? Now, if you go back and you watch that game plan, that match between Ross Cook, right, and Roman Brundle for the Irish Open final, right, in 2018, it is, you'll just see it. This is a fantastic game plan against the best kicker in the world, right? And you would think the best kicker in the world, you're going to have to tie him up, you're going to have to do this, you're going to have to run in circles. He did none of that stuff and neutralized his leg. Yeah. You're going to have to watch it. So I knew he was very smart. So now watching him in this capacity, I'm like, I have got to watch this. I got to watch the rest of this thing just to hear how he commentates.
He does,
And he's not like me. He's not crazy over the top. Right? He's very much with it. You know what I love about? Another thing I love.
And we got a little bit that last year with when Mallory and him were doing the shows on SMA, where they broke those stuff down.
And I think
that was a great,
film
study for this, and it was great. So great job.
You know what's interesting is we always say, like, all right, Ray is no humble guy. All right, he is very boisterous. He's out there, but you ever notice
somewhat? He
never actually says how good he is.
No.
He never actually does. He just does it.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're like, F.
Yeah.
We say it, right?
We perceive it as him being cocky, and really he's just having fun.
I mean, no, he is being cocky. There's plenty of times where he is.
Sure, that's fine. But
he never actually says the words about how good he is.
He is not that way when you talk to him, though. Like, he is one of the most humblest people you've talked to ever. So that's
I'm not trying to just like make this the Raymond Daniels Love Fest show. I'm not trying to do that. All right.
But anyways, so I thought the fighting part was great. That was a good one. We talked about just what to do next with the forms and weapons. Again, everyone is confused on how it works. Why is there certain divisions on this and not this? How can you get into the finals at the US in the ISK? Depends on the year. Okay, guys. Again, depends on the year.
Depends if Corey Schaefer's there.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Am I lying? Someone tell me I'm lying.
But I'm sure there's more things that I want to get into. But I just think overall, I enjoyed watching the. I was super pumped up to see Sammy versus Haley finally. It was a great job between them two. Great job to Joey Castro, Mason Bumba, who was. We found out today he actually won the weapons. That was another issue that. How are we messing up scores in 2021? Mason Stallwell did an amazing job and won in the ISK finals for the forums. Great job, Danny Etkin, Haley Glass. Dawson Holt killed it. He won 3. At one point, we thought he won 4, but today we found out it was really 3. And there's more and more. Some of the junior competitors I really enjoyed seeing. How am I forgetting her name? She's on Team Macho. Cody. She did an awesome job. That's a hard one for me, Drew, because I go back and forth with it because I just really enjoyed watching it all. I'm just going to go my competitor of the week is someone who won 10 ISK titles. I'm going to go Jackson Rudolph because he finished the show off. He did a great job on the mic. And if he wants to retire now, he can.
No, he can't. No, he can't. Sammy's got to beat him for the Warrior Cup.
Oh, that's right.
Warrior Cup.
So I think he did an awesome job. Great job. Yeah, great job to Cody. I loved watching her form. And what was cool was Jackson explaining how she did commas during the day and then did bow at night. Like that's huge, But she's been my competitor of the week before. But yeah, Jackson, awesome job commentating, competing, coaching. Sounds like something that, several of us would do, like that's what sport martial arts is all about.
He did it all in one day.
Yeah.
In one night.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I got 2 little tidbits.
Yeah. Congrats. Hey, congrats, Drew and Ray. Drew won the 30 plus and Ray won the 30 plus weapons. A great job. Ray is killing it right now, man. He was really successful at Battle of Atlanta and successful here. He's been my competitor of the week as well.
I've always been a DDB fan, but I'm starting to like this Ray Killison guy, man. I tell you what, he's been pretty cool.
Yeah, he's cool, and he looks like the guy from the master from Dragon Ball Z too. So it's cool.
So, all right, one forms thing.
Okay.
What's up with Alex Macias? Is he a forms competitor or is he a fighter?
All right. We didn't get into this.
I am about this close to not mentioning his name again.
All right. So here's the deal. So I think some of that hate is messed up. I don't really.
Not hate.
I don't. So here's the deal. What is wrong with being an all-around competitor?
Nothing is wrong. And I am okay if he chooses to only do one or the other. Because there's plenty of just forms competitors that I love.
My thing is funny is just why do you have at US Open, you're John Paul Mitchell, and you have 3 fight coaches there, maybe 2, and you only have 1 fighter, right?
If he's fighting in the division, which is the main thing I'm talking about. Okay,
you're talking about fighting, but he fought in the open weight, and he beat Jason Latona, so he got that win back. And then he lost, I think, to Kevin. So
did he or did he not? One of those divisions, I don't think he showed up for.
No, you're talking about Saturday. I don't know. I didn't see that, but I know Friday he did the open weight. Okay, but he also did all of his forms divisions on Friday too. So he had a full day of competing on Friday. So give this guy his love, respect for that. Now I don't know what he won. If he won his division, I don't know how he got into the thing. This is my other issue. Why don't we get updates? This is the biggest. This is why people are confused even more about who makes it to stage because we don't even know who won, and what the results are during the division.
All right, that's cool.
During the day, like I don't even have an idea of who won to be like, why is this guy on stage for this? He didn't even win. And the only thing I can say is that, maybe he's been winning through the year, but he didn't win at Battle of Atlanta. So I don't know. Maybe he did win. Yeah, see here, he said he beat Angel.
Yeah, but at the battle, he was there
Kevin
and
by
didn't
one.
fight.
Huh?
At the battle, he was there and didn't fight.
Right.
That's why I'm like, okay, so now, okay, this makes me feel.
He lost. Yeah, he lost to Kevin for first and second.
So this is okay. All right, I'll give you your love, Alex, because I know that at the battle he was there and didn't fight.
Right.
I thought when I was watching the live streams, I thought I heard it. I don't know if it transpired differently. I heard them going, Alex Macias, where's Alex Macias? Where's Alex Macias? And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. 2 tournaments in a row? All right. So this is cool. All right. He's back. He's competing. He's fighting, which I'm okay with if you're just a forms competitor.
Right.
But don't tell us you're all around if you have your team register you to fight and you don't go. So let's just hope that was a one-time thing.
Okay. Anyways, but here we go. So he did win the Extreme Weapons Division.
That's cool.
This is just I don't know because we don't get results, and I think that's a big issue as well. Even when it is on my Uventex, I can go on my Uventex, then there also needs to be like
on paper
a post all the time of saying, hey, these are the results. Check it out. This is what's going on. Especially when you're talking about the U.S. Open, right?
Wait, so let's stay on this. Drew, all the grands were done on paper. They just ditched the digital system. They ditched Digitego.
Taking too long. They probably didn't have.
There was so much standing.
But here's the deal. If it's probably not set up to pick the winners and automatically place them into the grands. Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay. So heat stroke. Okay. Got it. So, hey, we got a reason. So,
I mean,
all right.
But he did forms.
No.
At the battle? He didn't do forms at the battle?
He did forms. All his forms are on Friday, Alex.
Okay.
Yeah. Saturday is when that happened. But
it said the week before.
Yeah, here we go. Here's Alex. So you can answer your question.
Whoa. Okay, Alex. Are you competing in both fighting and forms? Which is it?
At every tournament. Is that what you're asking, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, so he didn't do that.
Okay, he didn't do forms in it. All right, got it.
All right.
Got it. Cool. He just competed at the U.S. Open. All right.
Okay. Cool. You know what? I like this. I'll eat my words.
Yep.
I'm okay with this. All right. One last thing before we take off, because I wanted to mention one last fighting tidbit, and it was the team fight final. So Legend versus Top 10 USA.
Right.
Dude, I wanted Yoskar in the final. I really felt like that Yoskar against Enrique would have been the way to go.
Right.
Because I mean, talent for talent, I feel like they matched up right. And I'm not trying to second guess anything Tony has done, because obviously he's put together a phenomenal team, right? And they win. And obviously, didn't he do a great job with them on with the women's the night before? Sure.
Yeah,
right. But I wanted to see that matchup. I wanted to see Yoskar against Enrique, because it's not the same as what he did with Bailey. Bailey wrecked him, right? But these are styles, right? Now you got a guy who's not going to take off. You got a guy who's not going to get, crazy low to the ground. So I thought that was perfect for him to be able to use his leg, move it up and down, hit it straight, come back, push him over, all right? And anytime Enrique starts to come forward, just go forward, both your hands wrecking. I was really looking forward and rooting for Yoskar to do that. Look at that. Listen to that, guys. I'm rooting for Yoskar. What is this world come to?
Hey. Yeah, hey, glad for defending them. I love, that's why I wasn't sure of what was going on either. I know Alex Damon had some questions. So
wait a minute, Jackson. Are you comparing Alex Macias to Kevin Thompson?
No. He's saying he's trying to. Okay. He's getting there. All right.
All right.
I don't think we can compare anyone. What you can say, hey, following in the footsteps, that's different. That's not a comparison. That's trying to grow yourself and do better, right? So,
No.
I mean, awesome job, Alex. I really enjoyed your Extreme Weapons Forum in the finals, and I was pleasantly
Oh
surprised.
yeah, it was pretty dope.
I really thought it was good.
I like the uniform choice. I like going white up top. That was a good move.
That's an old school move. Carmichael
Of course, right?
So I like it.
Calm down, guys. I'm not ripping anybody. Have fun, Alex. Calm down. You guys, is this your first time listening to me? Is this your first time?
Oh, this is fun stuff. Oh man. So overall, amazing job, guys. We had fun watching it. I can't wait till VFT. Thank you, VFT, for sponsoring us and for putting on great shows. We are getting ready for the next one. The last show had the top talent you can get. So just get excited for the next, Jesse Ray's doing an awesome job. Great job to all the fighters, all the forms competitors. It was great to see people out there. Like, again, Daryl Lewis was there at US Open, which is awesome to see him with his students. My boy Edgar Cordova killing it, so many guys out there killing it. So awesome job.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the juniors in the next VFT draft. This is going to be exciting. So I hope that happens soon.
Yep.
Okay, Jeff, are we talking about who's coming on next week?
Oh, yes, here we go. All right, 100th episode next week. And we got the power couples of all time in sport karate.
Shut up. Tell them, Jeff.
So we got Casey Marks Nash and Trevor Nash together.
Are you kidding me? Trevor Nash is going to be on the show. Trevor Nash is like hid from social media
don't
his entire life.
It. He may bail on this. I don't know, but I got Casey confirmed. All right, I got both of them confirmed. But yeah, don't jinx it, Alex.
All right, my bad.
No, I'm just messing, man. This is going to be an awesome show. If you don't know who you are, well, get to looking up. So we're going to have a great time. We're going to have a lot of fun. Listen. Who knows how long the show will go? We're going to try to keep it, probably an hour and a half. Let's be honest.
We're going to try because it could be
get all of their stuff into one episode.
No, each one of them could have 2 episodes.
Again, but this is going to be a great intro to it. And, Casey has told me she's going to come back even after it as well. So we have several different ones to do. So it's going to be great. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to talk about what's currently happened. Some of their journey, all the craziness they've had to go through running the karate school over this past year, all kinds of stuff, man. Really one of the best male fighters of all time. In my opinion, the best female overall competitor and forms of weapons competitor of all time. So it's just going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited to get into a little bit more about, what it's like behind the scenes with them.
Yeah. Training together, what's that like? Yeah.
Maybe they don't train together. I don't know. I assume they do, but my brother would never train with me.
Right.
No, he would not. Right. So maybe they don't. I don't know. I think they do. So, but I'm excited about that. Hey, if you guys are thinking about any other guests, like, hey, you should have this person on, drop us a line.
Yeah.
Right. And don't forget, if you love this episode, well, even if you didn't, don't forget to like our episodes.
Yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Yep.
Share this episode with somebody else. Leave us a review.
Hey, one thing before, I almost got you because Jenny Jones is all right here. That 14 to 17 junior weapons division in the finals last day was insane. Every single one of them killed it. Amazing job. I loved it. That's what the future of sport martial arts is all about, elevating and continuing to go. Great job to each of those guys. So keep it up, guys. And junior competitors, future, watch this stuff and get inspired, and you'll be there one day as well. So
this has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I am Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. See you guys next week. It's 100 time.